Let's talk 2024 planners. I'm excited to share my planner lineup with you for 2024. This took a lot of thought. The first thing I need to mention is I am not going to be using all these planners. So if you watched my recent video where I was sort of brainstorming which planners I wanted to use for the new year, I told you that I was kind of overwhelmed with my planners this year and I wasn't using them to their best potential. I haven't felt like I've been productive. I was skipping a lot of weeks. And I knew that I needed to make some changes for the new year. I just didn't quite know what they were going to be yet. And I've done a lot of thinking even since that video. And there are some really big changes this year, you guys, bigger than I've ever had. So I'm really excited to share this with you. And I'm excited to set these up. The setup video is going to be coming probably next week, but definitely before the new year, obviously. I just don't know exactly when. The reason I have all these planners here is I'm going to be combining bits and pieces of planners together. So let's jump right in and talk about what I'm going to be using. First things first, let's talk about my catch-all planner. Currently, I'm using a Big Happy Planner vertical layout, and this is what it looks like. I have loved using this. I've used this layout for the past 5 years, almost 6 years now. And there's just something wonderful about the Big Happy Planner. I can decorate it so pretty because there's so much room. I've really enjoyed using the planner this year, but as you can see, I started to fall off a little here and there. So I did not use it every single week this year, but I did use it. I felt like it wasn't as functional, like I talked about in my other video. I felt like it wasn't as functional as it used to be. So something was wrong and it was nagging at me. Can we talk about how gorgeous this cover is though? This is Live Love Posh, her croc cover. I love this so much, but you guys, when I say big changes, I mean big changes, and I'm switching it up this year and I'm ditching my Big Happy Planner. Oh, shock, I know. So that being said, that doesn't mean I'm not going to be doing Big Happy Planner spreads. I will always make those spreads for you. And also I have currently 17 patrons that I make spreads for every month, and a lot of them are Big Happy Planner spreads. So you'll be seeing that content like usual. It just won't be my particular planner. So here's what I'm going to do. I gave this a lot of thought, and just yesterday, some sort of thing popped into my mind, and I thought, you know what? I don't need a big planner. I've said this for years. I really don't need it. I'm not a super busy person. Work-wise I am, but personal life, not really. And I just don't need the space. As much as I tried to justify it by saying I wanted to decorate it and saying that it gave me plenty of room and all that, I just felt like some weeks were like almost becoming a chore to fill up because I just didn't have enough things to write in it. And here's the other surprise. I'm not going to be using a vertical layout. I know. I've never not used a vertical for my catch-all. So I'm like kind of excited, but also sort of nervous. I'm going to be using this planner, the classic dashboard planner for my catch-all. Can you believe it? If you've been watching me for a long time, you're probably like, what? There are several reasons that I'm choosing this planner and this layout. First of all, this is a mom planner. And by the way, I'll link all the planners that I show you in this video if they're still available. But this one just came out in the fall. I think it's so pretty. The cover is really pretty. And there's only a few dividers in here that say mom. And, you know, I am a mom. It's just that my kids are adults. So I think it's a really beautiful planner. Yeah, best mom ever. Like I can still use that because I am a mom. But this planner is so pretty that even if you're not a mom, you could certainly just cover up. Like I think there's 2 or 3 dividers in here that say it. You could just cover them up or whatever, because this is so pretty. I love like this, but I'm not using this cover, and we'll talk about that. But first I want to mention why I'm switching to the classic dashboard. I already discussed why I'm switching to the classic. I just felt like I needed to make that switch after all of these years. And as far as the layout, I found that even though I really, really enjoy decorating the vertical layout, I started to feel like it wasn't super functional for me. And I haven't been very productive. And I needed something to switch in my brain so that maybe it would change my productivity. Now, there's no guarantee that that will happen because I'm, I only can do what I can do. And if I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it. But I think sometimes what we need in our planners and in our lives is like a reset, right? Like a freshen up. And that's why January is very exciting for me, because it's like a fresh start. So I talked about in my last video how I was finding it difficult not to have a place for master to-do lists. And I was starting to get annoyed that I had to-dos on different days and not necessarily the day that I was doing them, but it was on a day. Like, this is what I typically do. I put to-do lists throughout the week. I just make lines in my layout, and then I'll write in things on the lines. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the things on Friday are going to get done on Friday. It's just like my master to-do list for the week. But for some reason this year, it was starting to bug me that I had these to-do lists spread out throughout the week, and it didn't feel cohesive, and I had to scan to look for it. And while it worked for me for a long time, all of a sudden it wasn't working. I don't know why. It just, it switched. So my thought was first adding master to-do lists in here somewhere, like a half sheet or in the beginning of the month or something like that, and then pull from those. But then I thought, well, the dashboard layout is honestly perfect for me as far as like categorizing things. And I can do like a master to-do list here or a category. I can categorize things in different ways. I don't quite know how I'm going to use it yet, but I love this. I love having this for the week. And that's really all I need, honestly. That's a lot of space for to-do lists for the week. I could do a separate goal section or cleaning. I don't know quite how I'm going to divide these spaces up yet, but I think it's going to be really functional on this side. Now, the reason I've hesitated to use a dashboard in the past is because this side, it feels like it doesn't work for me. My brain doesn't want to work this way. It wants to work vertically, but I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. Now, if I don't like it, guess what? I can switch. So it's not like written in stone. I'm someone who's very lucky that I have lots of extra planners laying around so that if I don't like it, I can switch. I know it's different for you guys, and it might be more of a big decision for you because you're not going to have the extra planners that I have. But for me, I can switch. I do have a big vertical planner that I can use for the year if I really, really miss it. This does give me a little bit of anxiety because I love the big vertical. So it's like, will I miss it? Probably, but will this be more functional for me? Maybe, and I'm hoping so. The other thing is, I don't love decorating the dashboard as much as I love decorating the vertical. And that's just something I'm going to have to, deal with. But I'm getting better at it, and it's not as hard as it used to be. It's not as cute in my opinion. Like, the layouts aren't as cute, but we're going to do our best to make it work. I don't quite know what I'm going to use for this section yet. It might be meals, but probably not. I'm not really someone who plans out my meals, so it may be, I really want to get back into working out. It could be like my fitness section, or it could be like one priority for each day, I don't know what yet, but we'll deal with that when I do my setup video. When I start using it, you'll see like how I'm using it. I'm going to customize this in a couple of ways. First off, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using this cover. This is a quilted puffy cover from Live Love Posh. I love this. It's like this really pretty blush color. It's almost peach, which is really cool. I really like it. I'm going to be switching out these discs because I feel like the peach on peach is too much maybe. I'll probably either use clear discs or black ones. I'm going to do more to customize it though. So I'll still be using my currently pages as I usually do in my big planner. But I think I'm going to be using the year at a glance for health tracking. In my last video, when I was brainstorming, I was talking about how I really do need a wellness planner. I need some health tracking things. but I've tried 2 years in a row to have a separate wellness planner and I can't seem to stick to it no matter what I do. And so I thought this year, rather than try it again, even though I do really need it, because I do have some chronic health issues that I really do need to track. So I do need it, but I'm trying to be realistic this year and not take on too much. So my thought is I'm going to be using these pages for symptom tracking, and like if I start a new medication or something, I'll write it in here as well. I know these are very small blocks, and I know that this is not ideal because it's going to be kind of hard to pull all the data together to show my doctor, but at least there will be data. You know what I mean? There will be something, because right now there's nothing. I'm not doing anything right now. So it's in the past has been 100% or 0. So I'm like going with 20%, you know what I mean? So at least there'll be something written down. And I won't be writing every day either. And I have to remember to do this, but it will sort of be like, oh, when I'm just feeling something's wrong, you know, something's changing or something's wrong, I'm going to write it in here. Another way I'm going to be customizing this planner is to add a goal sheet into every month. And that's another thing I talked about before, is that I needed a place for goal setting, and I didn't think that I needed a separate goals planner, nor would I keep up with it. So I have the Happy Journal, the guided journal goals one, and there are these pages in the beginning of each month here. Now this is only a 4-month planner, but I do have other goal planners that have these types of pages in them. I thought I'd put one of these pages in the front of each month. So it says month of, this month's focus, this month's big goals, and then the action steps, and then a reward. I think this is useful. It's very simplified. It's not like I'm going to have to do too much. I'm also not even going to have to decorate it. I think this year is going to be more like my functional era. That's what I'm feeling like. I don't know. I know I'm always going to be decorative, you guys, but I'm feeling like I need to focus more on function and less on decor while still combining both. So on the other side, we have monthly habit tracker with 3 habits. I don't know if I'm going to use this, but I think it's a great idea. In the beginning of last year, I shared my habit tracker where I was tracking like all the habits of my life, right? I took on too much, and you guys told me I took on too much, but I thought I could do it. That's my ADHD. You know, I think I can do it. I'm positive, and then I don't do it. So this is like biting off a smaller chunk. Like I think I can handle 3 habits a month and see how I do. So I'll try it in the beginning. If I fall off this and don't want to use it, I don't have to, but I definitely do want to use this portion because I think it's going to help me break down things into steps. So that will go like, and there'll be all this information in the setup video, but like these will go somehow. Now it's always tricky when you're doing this, but I think I'll probably put it like here after my currently page. Okay, and then I have one more thing to put in here, and right here I have a monthly layout happy planner. This is the Nordic Brights one. This is dated, but these pages in here that are the daily task pages aren't dated. All they have is the month, so it doesn't say the year. So I think what I'll be doing is taking let me get January. It's not using these pages, and not even this one. So I'm just going to take this one. It says January, and then on the back it says daily tasks, which I don't really need, but my thought is to put this in right after that page. So then it would start with the currently page, go into the goals, and then a master to-do list for the month. I may or may not use it because I have a lot of space on the dashboard pages, but I really always love having a place to write everything down. And these can be categorized because they're into separate sections. So I may use it with categories. I don't know. But then we go right into the week. The monthly, I'm going to continue to use my monthly as I do in my big happy planner, which is just like usually, you know, an overview of the month. I don't usually look at it because I do combine my paper plan. Wow, sorry. I don't usually use this so functionally because I also use my Google Calendar on my phone. And that's just how I work because I do combine paper and digital planning. But I still decorate this. I still love having a completed planner, so I'm going to continue to use this. And then we go right into the week. So that's how I plan on setting it up. I'm really excited about this. I know it's a big change, but I'm hoping that it will sort of jumpstart things for me. Okay, let's get into my journal now. So currently I'm using this classic Happy Planner as my journal. This is a Kellofaplan cover, and I use whatever layout I feel like using. So this one is obviously a vertical layout. I've been switching it up. This was like a junk journal, just bullet journal layout. Here is the recovery layout. It just depends on my mood. This is like a vertical line layout. I have loved doing this year. It really did feel good to be able to switch up the layout and however I saw fit. Like whenever my mood changed, I would switch up the layout. But I got tired, and I talked about this before, but I got tired of gluing the pages together. And I felt like it was getting too thick and bulky. And I also didn't like that it wasn't all set up at once because, you know, if you go past this, it's like just random pages. I was putting recovery layout pages in here because I thought I was going to use that every week, and then I didn't. I just don't like the random feel of that, so I would want something more cohesive. I don't want to have to do anything when I turn the page to the next week. It was always like, you know, you're here and you're writing in it, and then, oh, now what do I do? Like I have to fix. I like, you know, a completed planner where you turn and you have your page ready. So I'm going to do something very different this year, which I'm also very excited about. So many changes. I am going to be creating my own blank bullet journal using Happy Planner discs and Happy Planner pages. So this is a Happy Plans and Notes. I'm not going to be using this cover, the discs or anything, but what this is, it's like a blank. These are really cool, by the way. You have your, I don't know if they still sell them. I'll try to link it if they do. You have your like blank currently page, your blank monthly, and then like that, a bunch of those. And then in the back you have, you know, you have your tabs, and then in the back you have lined sheets. I'm going to take this lined paper out of here, put it on different discs, and probably use this cover because I think it's so cute. This came on a horizontal planner last year, I think, and I've never used it, and I always loved this cover so much. And I'm going to create a full bullet journal where I can do whatever I want. I feel like the weeks that I had the blank pages, because I did that a few times this year, was when I got most creative and sort of the most fun for me, and I could do whatever I wanted. And that's what I'm most looking forward to with this type of thing. Another change I'm going to make, and this is wacky, I am going to do it like a bullet journal. So I am not going to have dividers for the month. Dividers kind of got in my way in my journal this year, and they annoyed me because I wasn't using the monthly. Once in a while, I would forget to turn the divider and glue the page onto the back of that. So I missed it anyway, and it was just a big mess. So they annoyed me, and now I'm not going to have any dividers because I don't need them. I thought what I could do even maybe is I might do like a monthly title page each time, you know, as I flip through, sort of like a bullet journal. And the cool thing that I think I'm going to do this year, I'm pretty sure I'm going to change up the theme or the colors each month. So January might be like all light blue spreads. February might be all like, I don't know, spreads with hearts. And March might be all black and white spreads. So it's going to challenge me to try to fit into that box that I create for the month. And I don't know, I just think it's sort of a fun game for myself and something that makes it feel new and fresh. And I also think at the end of the year, it will be really fun to flip back on and see all the different themes that I chose and see how it switches throughout the year. So even like my month page will be its own theme or color scheme. And then all the weekly spreads will be that same theme or color scheme. I like to freshen things up and sort of play games with my own mind, make it more fun. And that's what I feel like this is going to be for me this year, is fun. And I'm going to try to throw in some junk journaling in here as well, because I really do enjoy that. I considered having a separate junk journal altogether that I don't write in, because a lot of people do the junk journals and they don't even write in them, which I don't. I kind of want to write in them though. So I don't know. I think I'm just going to combine junk journaling spreads in this whenever I feel like doing a junk journaling spread. And just honestly, this is going to be so just creative and whatever I feel like doing. It could be a very whimsical thing. It could be that I'm doodling or drawing. It could be all paper. I don't know yet what I'm going to be putting in here, but I'm really excited to try different things, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun for me. I decided to use lined paper because then if I put stickers on it, there will be sections where there'll be lines to write in, but now I'm kind of rethinking that. So because these lines are kind of wide in between and I like to write small. So I don't know if I'm going to use the lined paper or not. I could use dot grid, but I'm definitely using blank paper. All right, so that is my journal. Very exciting stuff. What I've been using for my work planner this year is a daily happy planner that looks like this, and I combine it with Asana, which is project management software online. I started using Asana, sorry for Bumble's noises in the background. I started using Asana this year because I felt like there was a lot I couldn't do with a paper planner and my job was getting confusing. So planning content for YouTube and Patreon and all of the social platforms and working with sponsors, it got kind of all muddy in my planner and I was having a really hard time with it. So I decided that I wanted to do something digital so that I could have a search function and so that I could have a Kanban board, and it just makes more sense to me. So I've been using that this year. It's been a game changer for me. I love it. I combine that with the daily sheets. My Asana is basically for my content calendar and my Patreon tasks, and a couple of other things, but as far as to-do lists, I don't use it for that. So that's where my daily sheets come in. I don't usually show them because they're like a true mess. Let me see if I can find one. Hold on. I don't have any sitting around right now because, like I said, I do toss them when I'm done with them, and I don't typically decorate them. I do once in a while on my channel and I'll use it then, or every once in a while I'll feel like decorating it, but I typically don't because they're very functional for me. While the daily planner is working for me, I'm starting to get a little frustrated with it for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's no time blocking. There's no times on here, and I really do want to get better at time management. That's been a goal of mine for a while, so I really could use the time blocks. The other thing that is a little bit annoying to me with this layout is this section down here. Now, I know if you have specific things that you need to categorize, great. But I found that I was just writing on here and writing right over it and not using that at all. Also, don't love this up here. I do love the long task list, and I also like this blank section here, and I also really like the priorities, but I decided not to use the Happy Planner daily planner this year. And I think the main reason, aside from the layout, which is fine, like I still like it, the main reason for me is that there's something very attractive to me, and I tried this once before and it didn't work, but there's something very attractive to me of having a bound planner where I write in it every day and I just pull it out. There's my planner. I write in it. When it comes to Happy Planner, I'm someone, like I said, who tends to pull out the sheets and work on them, and then they get lost or they're in a pile of papers. And I also toss them, and typically I toss them because, they're either in my planner and I pull them out and just throw them away, or they're, like I said, they're in a pile of papers on my desk. So like I did in the past, I had this thought, like, I want a bound daily planner that I can keep. And that way, if I have any little notes or scribbles, like right now I have papers all over the place. Some are in Happy Notes notebooks, some are just like on block pads, some are on Post-it notes, and it's kind of all over the place. And I really want to try to combine all that into one planner with something that I can't pull out, so that it forces me to keep everything in one place. I guess that's the main reason I'm switching it up. So I watched a bunch of daily planner review videos, as one does when you're trying to figure out what planner to use. My favorite person for reviews, by the way, is Amanda's Favorites. I love her. I've been watching her planner reviews for years because they're really helpful and detailed. So she talks about the Simplified Daily Planner a lot from Emily Ley, and I decided to go with that this year. I had bought one in the past and didn't use it, so I'm trying it again. I think I even might have made a video on why I wasn't using it. I don't know. It looks attractive to me. I like the layout. It's super simple. Amanda's saying the paper's good. I don't know. I just think I want to try it again, give it one more shot, and have just a planner that will sit on my desk that is for work, that I can't pull the pages out of. I mean, I guess I could, but you know. I like how the time blocks are on the left, how you have a long to-do list on the right. There is a section on the bottom that's just blank, which is great because I can customize that to what I need. And there's not a lot of bells and whistles, which is what I like. So I just ordered that today, and it's like December 15th. So I'm hoping I get it in time for New Year's. I really hope I get it in time for my planner setup video, but I don't think I'm going to. So you can expect a video on that after I receive it. So yeah, I'm going to be using that in the new year, and I'm really excited for it. Oh, also I picked the coastal stripe one. I really had a hard time choosing, but the inside cover is what got me. I really like the color of it, like that soft turquoise, and that's sort of my brand color anyway, so I decided to pick that one. It seems very soothing. By the way, I am an affiliate for them. I think I signed up back in 2019 when I decided to use it for the first time, so I will link that for you in the description box. Let's talk about a planner that I'm adding into my lineup this year that I never thought in a million years I would, and that is a reading journal. This year, I made this reading tracker. I don't know if you saw that video towards the beginning of the year, and it kind of ignited my love for reading. And that's not something I expected, but I had so much fun filling this up. And I actually am reading 2 books right now, so I think I'm going to put these in. So that's 50 books, and that's more books than I read in a year in I don't know how long, like probably since I was a kid. These are part audiobooks and part Kindle books. I don't really have any physical books anymore just because my eyesight sucks now that I'm older, and I also don't like I like to be able to read at night without a light and all of that. Now, I do use Goodreads to track my reading, but there's so much more that you can do in a reading journal. And I sort of fell down the rabbit hole on YouTube watching all these reading journal setups. I decided to use a bullet journal because I feel like it just allows me the freedom to do what I want, create my own trackers and all of that. So I'm very excited about this. It's going to be a lot more work than just if I used a planner, but this is just a Happy Planner bullet journal, and it's just white dot grid. I decided to use this one. Now I'm still on the fence, honestly, but I have so many Archer and Olive journals, and I almost picked one of those, and I still might, but I sort of decided on this one because of the peach theme. So look, how cute would this be if I had this and this and this for my planners this year? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this having a little planner theme with the covers would be so cute. And then the Coastal Stripe Simplified Daily Planner is kind of like these colors here. And so I feel like it will all just coordinate. So that's what I'm considering. I'm pretty sure I'm using this one. If I don't use that one, then I'm going to use this one by Archer and Olive because I think this is gorgeous. I just got this one. Look at that gold foil. I love this so much. It has like the gilded edges. I think this is so fancy, and I may use this one. I'm not sure yet, but you'll find out in my setup video. Anyway, I have lots of ideas for this reading journal. There will be content coming up about this. I'm really excited about it, but I'm also going to try to make it a little more simple. I'm not going to have a page dedicated to each book. I mean, I think I'm going to try to simplify it, but it's something that excites me, and I feel like it's going to make me read more this year, and I'm really excited to track it. Like I said, I track a lot of things on Goodreads, but not everything. So I'm excited about this. And I'm going to have a separate reading journal setup video as well. So that may not be until closer to the new year or after January 1st. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to set that up. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is my wedding planner. I am getting married this year, probably in the spring or summer. We sort of had to put the wedding plans on hold a little bit because my fiance Mike just sold his house. We're working on getting him moved out. We're working on getting him moved in here. And there's just been a lot going on. So we're sort of waiting to plan the wedding after all of this is settled. I'm not going to be using this planner as it is because my wedding is going to be very, very small. We're going to have about 30 people, maybe less. It's just immediate family, not even friends or anything. And it's just going to be like a dinner at a restaurant type of thing. It's just very simple, low key, because we're both older. We've both been married before, and we just don't feel the need to make a big, like huge deal out of it, even though we want to make it special. So I'm not going to be needing like a lot of these pages in here. This is a very, very detailed wedding planner, and it's really cool. Like I really love it, and I wish I had had this when I got married the first time. Like there's so many different little checklists and all the details you need, but I don't need all these details. So I'm not going to be having wedding favors. I'm not going to, like, pretty much I'm going to be having a dress. I'm going to have flowers, like just a bouquet, and probably like a photographer. Like literally that's probably it. So, but there are going to be things I obviously need to do to plan it. You know, there's going to be some little details. So what I thought I would do, since I'm not going to need all of this, like this just seems so overwhelming to me because of how small my wedding's going to be. I think what I decided to do is use a Happy Notes notebook in a big size, because this is a big size planner, and pull the pages out of here that I need and put them in there, combined with just like lined pages for lists. I think that's going to be the most functional for me. But there will be content coming up. As soon as we get into wedding planning mode, there will definitely be content where I'm setting up that planner. It's going to be a very simple planner, but we're going to talk about it then. But I just wanted to mention this because I know some of you were thinking I'm going to be using this. I just don't feel like it's too much for me. It's too much. All right, so those are all my planners for 2024. I'm very excited. I feel super overwhelmed when I'm trying to pick them out and set them up, but once it's done, I am so stoked for the new year, and I feel refreshed and ready to go. Like, let's go. So let me know in the comments if you've chosen your 2024 planners yet and which ones you picked. How many planners are you using? Let's chat. I'd love to hear it. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.